How long will you wait for the perfect moment? How long will you let fear, doubt, and hesitation hold you back? Life isn't about waiting for opportunities. It's about creating them. The power you need, the guidance you seek, and the strength to move forward, it's already within you. Today, I'm going to show you how to stop waiting and start winning, because the time to live your purpose is now. Have you ever felt like life is moving too slowly? Like everyone around you is racing ahead while you're stuck waiting for your moment. You check the clock, you scroll through social media, you see friends achieving, people getting opportunities, doors opening, and you ask yourself, why not me? Why is my life on hold? That feeling, that frustration, that impatience, it's normal. But here's the truth. Life doesn't follow a human timetable. It follows a divine rhythm, a higher timing. And when you start trusting that rhythm, everything changes. Trusting in divine timing means believing that there is a perfect moment for everything in your life. It doesn't mean being passive or sitting on the sidelines. It means preparing yourself, sharpening your skills, building your character, and showing up every day while knowing that the universe, or God, is orchestrating opportunities that you can't even see yet. Think about a farmer planting seeds. He doesn't dig up the soil every hour to check if the seed has sprouted. He waters it, he tends to it, he protects it from weeds and pests, but he trusts the natural process. That seed will grow exactly when it's ready. Your dreams are seeds, and your faith and actions are the water. The right moment is coming, it's just not in your control, and that's okay. Every delay in life is not a denial, it's a preparation. Think about someone learning a skill, like playing an instrument.
At first, your fingers fumble, your notes sound wrong, and you feel like giving up. But every hour you practice, every mistake you correct, every note you repeat, you're growing.
When the moment comes to perform on stage, all the patience, all the preparation, all the silent, unseen work comes together and you shine. Divine timing works the same way. Your skills, your opportunities, your breakthroughs, they arrive when your effort meets your readiness. Look at the story of someone waiting for a job or a promotion. You send applications, you attend interviews, and you face rejection after rejection. It's easy to feel defeated, to think that success is only for others. But every rejection is redirecting you, shaping you, preparing you for the opportunity that will truly fit your potential. Sometimes, the right door closes so the right path opens. Divine timing is precise. You might not get what you want today, but you will get what you need when you are ready to handle it, and when it aligns perfectly with your purpose. Trusting divine timing also teaches patience in relationships. Many of us rush love, friendships, or partnerships. We try to force connections that aren't ready. We push for results that come too soon. But when you trust the timing of life, you understand that the right people will enter your life at the right moment. You won't have to chase. You won't have to beg. And when it happens, it will feel effortless because it's perfectly aligned with your journey. Just like the seasons, relationships bloom in their own time. Spring doesn't come in winter, and your moments of connection won't come until they're meant to. Even in our daily routines, divine timing is at work. Think about waking up early, going to work, or studying for an exam. You might feel that nothing significant is happening yet, but every small action builds towards something greater. Every extra hour of focus, every patient effort, every disciplined choice is part of a bigger picture that you cannot see yet. When you trust the timing, you stop feeling frustrated with small delays and start seeing every small effort as a building block for your future victories. The essence of trusting divine timing is surrender, not giving up, but letting go of the illusion of control. When you try to force outcomes, you exhaust yourself, you create stress, and you often make mistakes. But when you surrender, you channel your energy into what you can do, your actions, your growth, your readiness, and leave the rest to the divine plan. This is not passivity, it's active faith. It's moving forward with confidence that everything you are doing now will bear fruit at exactly the right time. Remember, even the tallest mountains were formed over millions of years. Rivers carved valleys not overnight, but with steady, persistent flow. Your life, your achievements, your breakthroughs, they will also take the time they need to form perfectly.
Divine timing is not a delay. It's the alignment of your readiness with the universe's plan.
When you trust it, you stop wasting energy worrying about the clock, and you start investing energy in becoming the person capable of receiving the blessings that are meant for you. So today, instead of asking why is it taking so long, start asking what am I learning while I wait? How am I growing? How can I prepare for the moment that is coming? Each moment of patience, each act of faith, each small step in the right direction is bringing you closer to your breakthrough. Stop racing against time. Stop being frustrated by delays. Trust in divine timing, because the moment meant for you will come, and when it does, it will be perfect in every way. Every single person in this world has a source of strength within them, a power that is often hidden, untapped, or underestimated. This strength is not measured by how much you can lift, how fast you can run, or how many obstacles you face. It is measured by your ability to keep moving forward, to rise after every fall, and to keep believing in yourself when no one else does. Too often, we look outside for validation, for help, for courage. But the truth is, everything you need has already been placed within you by God. Your inner strength is your secret weapon, waiting for you to discover it, trust it, and use it. Think about a time in your life when you faced a challenge that seemed impossible. Maybe it was a difficult exam, a tough project at work, or a personal struggle that left you feeling hopeless. At first, you may have doubted yourself, thinking, I don't have what it takes. But then something inside you shifted. You found focus. You pushed through the discomfort. You kept going even when it was hard. That was your inner strength speaking. It's always been there, quietly waiting for you to recognize it. Harnessing your inner strength begins with self-awareness. You must recognize that you are more capable than you realize. Every skill you've learned, every lesson you've experienced, every hardship you have survived has added to your power. Think of the times you thought you couldn't get through a situation, but you did. Remember the times when you were exhausted, stressed, or afraid, yet you somehow found the energy to keep going.
That was not luck. That was
Your inner strength guiding you, reminding you that you are built for resilience, for perseverance, and for greatness. Let's bring this into daily life. Imagine someone working in a job that challenges them every single day. There are deadlines, pressures, and expectations that seem overwhelming. There are deadlines, pressures, and expectations that seem overwhelming. At times, it feels easier to quit, to give in, to let circumstances dictate your life. But when you tap into your inner strength, you push past the limits. You take control of your mind, your actions, and your attitude. You remind yourself, I am stronger than my challenges. I can do this. Every small victory, every problem you solve, every obstacle you overcome is proof that your inner strength is real and active. Inner strength also shows itself in moments of emotional resilience. Life is full of situations that shake us. Arguments, disappointments, rejections, and failures. The difference between someone who rises and someone who stays down is the ability to call upon that internal reservoir of power. When your heart is heavy, when your mind is clouded with doubt, when circumstances feel unfair, you have the choice to lean on your inner strength. You can say to yourself, I am capable of handling this. I will not be defeated by fear, anger, or despair. That is the divine strength within you, the part of you that refuses to be broken even when the world tries to bend you.
Think of the times when people rise against all odds. Athletes, artists, inventors, and leaders often face repeated failures, criticism, and setbacks.
What separates them is not their luck, but their inner strength. The ability to see failure not as an end, but as a stepping stone. You have that same power. Your strength is not about perfection. It's about persistence, about getting up when you fall, about finding courage when you feel weak, and about keeping your eyes on your purpose even in the darkest times. Harnessing inner strength also means embracing your potential and taking responsibility for your life. Stop waiting for someone else to save you. Stop depending on external circumstances to define your power, and start acting with the confidence that you are capable of creating your own success. Every morning when you choose to get up, every time you choose to face a difficult task, every time you refuse to give in to fear or doubt, you are exercising that strength. Life will test you, but your strength is stronger than any test if you tap into it. Even in simple daily routines, your inner strength can transform ordinary moments into extraordinary ones, Waking up early, choosing discipline over comfort, helping someone when it's inconvenient, learning a new skill, or even facing uncomfortable conversations with honesty, all of these require strength. Most people wait for motivation to appear, but the truly powerful use their inner strength to create motivation to push themselves and to move forward even when they don't feel like it. That is where transformation begins. Inside you, not outside. Ultimately, harnessing your inner strength is about realizing that you are not defined by circumstances, by failures, or by what others say about you. You are defined by the courage to act, the persistence to continue, and the faith to trust that you are equipped with everything necessary to achieve your purpose. Your strength is a gift, a power planted in your heart by God, and it grows every time you use it. When you learn to tap into it consciously, consistently, and courageously, you become unstoppable. So today, stop looking outward for power, for validation, or for courage. Stop underestimating yourself and your potential. Look within, feel it, trust it, use it. Every challenge, every obstacle, every fear is an invitation to rise. Harness your inner strength, be. Oz, it's not just there to survive life, it's there to conquer it. Your power is already within you. The only question is whether you are ready to claim it. Your power is already to claim it. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that can shape a human life, but only if you allow it to. It whispers quietly. It creates doubt. It paints worst-case scenarios in your mind. And before you realize it, it begins to control your decisions. Many people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because fear convinces them not to try. But here is a truth that can transform your life. Fear is not a wall, it is a door. It appears solid, but the moment you push against it with courage and faith in God, it opens. Breaking free from fear does not mean fear disappears. It means you move forward even while your heart beats faster and your hands feel uncertain. Think about everyday moments when fear quietly holds people back. A student wants to ask a question in class but remains silent, worried about what others will think.
An employee has an idea that could improve the workplace but hesitates to share it, afraid of rejection.
Someone dreams of starting a business, changing careers, or pursuing a passion but keeps postponing it because the outcome is unknown. Fear often disguises itself as caution, but in reality, it steals possibilities. It convinces you to stay comfortable instead of growing. Breaking free from fear begins with awareness. You must recognize when fear is speaking and question whether it is protecting you or limiting you. Most fears are not based on real danger. They are based on imagined outcomes. Your mind creates stories of failure, embarrassment, and loss long before anything actually happens. But imagine how many victories you could experience if you acted despite uncertainty. Growth begins at the edge of discomfort. Just as muscles grow only when challenged, your courage grows only when tested. Consider a simple daily example. Waking up early to pursue a goal, the alarm rings, and fear appears as hesitation, fear of effort, fear of failure, fear that your hard work may not pay off. But the moment you rise from bed, you prove that fear does not control you.
That small decision becomes a declaration of strength. Courage is built in ordinary moments, not extraordinary ones. Not extraordinary ones.
Each time you choose action over hesitation, you weaken fear's grip on your life. Faith in God plays a powerful role in overcoming fear. Faith in God plays a powerful role in overcoming fear. When you believe that a higher wisdom guides your path, uncertainty loses its power. Fear thrives on the illusion that you are alone, that every outcome depends entirely on your control. But when you trust that your steps are supported by divine guidance, you find peace even in risk. Courage grows when you realize that fear cannot block what is meant for you.
It can only test your willingness to move forward. Look at how people transform when they stop running from fear.
Someone who fears public speaking begins by sharing ideas in small conversations. With each attempt, confidence grows. With each attempt, confidence grows. Someone who fears failure tries again after setbacks, learning more with every effort. The transformation is not sudden, it is gradual, built on repeated acts of courage. Fear weakens every time you face it directly. It loses power when you refuse to obey it. It loses power with breaking free from fear also means changing how you see failure. Fear often warns, what if you fail? But a stronger question is, what if you grow? Every mistake carries a lesson. But if you grow, every mistake carries a lesson. Every setback carries wisdom. When you see failure as feedback rather than defeat, fear loses its greatest weapon. Life does not reward those who never fall. It rewards those who rise each time they do. In daily life, fear often appears in relationships. People fear expressing their feelings, fear setting boundaries, fear setting boundaries, fear setting boundaries, fear being honest. But silence creates distance, while courage creates connection. When you speak truthfully and act sincerely, you align with your purpose. Fear may promise safety, but courage creates authenticity. Real peace comes not from avoiding discomfort, but from living with integrity. You may have heard many inspiring speakers talk about courage, including voices like Gaur Gopal, who often reminds audiences that growth begins when comfort ends. That wisdom reflects a universal truth. Fear is not a signal to stop, it is a signal to trust more deeply, to act more boldly, and to believe more strongly in the path ahead.
Breaking free from fear requires practice. It requires patience.
It requires reminding yourself again and again that you are capable of more than your doubts suggest. Each courageous action, no matter how small, becomes evidence of your strength. Each step forward becomes proof that fear cannot define you. Imagine how your life would change if fear no longer dictated your choices. Imagine pursuing opportunities without hesitation, expressing ideas without doubt, and facing challenges with calm determination. That life is not distant. It begins the moment you decide that fear will no longer be your guide. So when fear speaks, listen, but do not obey.
So when fear speaks, listen, but do not obey.
When doubt appears, acknowledge it, but do not surrender to it. When uncertainty surrounds you, move forward with faith that every step taken with courage aligns you with your purpose. Fear may visit your mind, but it does not have to control your destiny. Freedom begins when you choose courage over comfort, action over hesitation, and trust over doubt. And when you walk forward with that spirit, you do not merely escape fear. You transform into the person who was always meant to rise beyond it. Life often presents us with opportunities, doors waiting to be opened, and moments calling for action. But many of us stand frozen at the threshold, paralyzed by hesitation. We wait for the perfect conditions, for the ideal moment, for all signs to align. And while we wait, life keeps moving. The truth is, action guided by faith is far more powerful than waiting for certainty. Faith is the spark that turns thought into reality, and hesitation is the barrier that keeps dreams locked away. Acting with faith begins with a simple realization. You are capable of more than you give yourself credit for. Every day, you are faced with choices that test your courage. Choosing to speak up when your ideas matter, deciding to start a project despite uncertainty, taking a step toward a goal that feels just out of reach. In each of these moments, hesitation tempts you to stay safe, to remain in comfort. But faith calls you forward.
Faith says, I may not see the whole path, but I trust that the next step is worth taking. Consider someone wanting to start a small business. Consider someone wanting to start a small business.
They have an idea, a vision, and the skills to execute it. But fear whispers, wait, you might fail. Wait until you have more money. Wait until conditions are perfect. And so they wait, sometimes for years. Meanwhile, others with less experience, less certainty, but more courage act immediately. They fail, they learn, they adjust, and they grow. Acting with faith is about stepping into the unknown with confidence, knowing that God has placed within you the resources, wisdom, and resilience to handle what comes next. Hesitation is the enemy of progress, while faith is the engine that propels you forward. Daily life is full of smaller examples where acting with faith changes outcomes. Imagine a student hesitating to ask a question in class, fearing it might sound foolish. Acting with faith means raising your hand anyway, trusting that curiosity is a strength, that learning requires vulnerability, and that every question asked moves you closer to understanding. It's the same with relationships. You might hesitate to express gratitude, offer help, or say something meaningful because you fear rejection.
Acting with faith means speaking your truth, trusting that genuine intentions will never go wasted.
Faith is not blind optimism, it is informed courage.
It is a trust in the divine order of life, in your own abilities, and in the value of taking steps even when outcomes are uncertain. Consider someone training for a marathon. Consider someone training for a marathon.
They cannot see the finish line every day, yet they wake up, run, train, and endure discomfort. Each stride is an act of faith. Each stride is an act of faith. Each mile builds confidence that the goal is attainable. Life operates the same way. Small actions fueled by faith accumulate into massive progress.
Hesitation only delays the inevitable growth that comes when you act. Another powerful example comes from moments of decision-making in careers.
Perhaps you have an opportunity to change jobs, relocate, or pursue a passion project. Your mind lists, resists to wait. I'm not ready. It's risky. I might fail. Acting with faith means listen in. G to your intuition, weighing your options, but ultimately stepping forward with the belief that preparation and divine guidance will meet you where hesitation leaves you stuck. Often the greatest achievements are realized not because conditions were perfect, but because someone acted decisively with faith. Even in the smallest aspects of daily life, acting with faith transforms experiences. Sending that email, making that call, volunteering for that task, apologizing, or sharing an idea. Each requires faith that your efforts will matter. Hesitation may seem safe, but it is costly. Every missed opportunity, every moment avoided, is a moment where growth, connection, and success could have taken root. Acting with faith turns ordinary choices into extraordinary outcomes. Faith-driven action also strengthens your character. Every step taken, despite fear or uncertainty, builds resilience. Every decision made with trust, rather than hesitation, creates confidence. It trains you to rely not on external guarantees, but on the strength within you and the divine guidance surrounding you. Over time, this creates a life where you no longer wait for circumstances to be perfect. You create momentum, make progress, and attract the right opportunities simply by moving forward. Consider life as a river. Hesitation is standing on the bank, afraid to enter. Faith is stepping into the current, trusting that it will carry you forward. You may stumble in the water, feel unsure of each stroke, but with persistence, you will find balance, strength, and direction. Every courageous step becomes part of your journey, and eventually, the river carries you to places you could never have imagined from the shore. The ultimate power of acting with faith is that it transforms your relationship with time and possibility. Waiting for the perfect moment often leads to waiting for a lifetime. Acting with faith transforms ordinary moments into breakthroughs, ordinary choices into destiny-shaping decisions. It allows you to embrace uncertainty as part of growth, risk as part of progress, and the unknown as part of adventure. So today, choose faith over hesitation. Step forward even if the path isn't fully visible. Speak, act, create, and pursue with the confidence that every small effort matters. Trust that your steps are guided, that your potential is sufficient, and that the divine timing of life works in tandem with your courage. Hesitation is optional. Faith is powerful. Start moving. Start acting. Start winning. Life will never be free of challenges. They are not interruptions. They are invitations.
Every obstacle, every setback, every difficult moment is designed not to stop you, but to shape you.
Challenges are the stones laid across the river of life. They are meant to be stepped on. one by one to carry you forward. The most successful, the most fulfilled, and the most resilient people in the world are not those who avoided challenges. They are those who embraced them, learned from them, and used them as stepping stones to reach higher ground. Think about a child learning to ride a bicycle. At first, the task seems impossible. They fall, scrape their knees, and feel frustrated. The challenge is real, and it feels uncomfortable, even discouraging. But each fall teaches balance, coordination, and resilience. Each small success builds confidence. Without the falls, the bicycle could never have been mastered. Challenges in life work in the same way.
They may hurt, they may feel inconvenient, but each one contains a lesson, an opportunity, and a chance to grow stronger. In daily life, challenges appear in many forms.
At work, it could be a project that seems too difficult, a deadline that feels impossible, or a colleague whose behavior tests your patience. In personal life, it might be a relationship that requires understanding, a disagreement that needs resolution, or a period of loneliness and uncertainty. These challenges are not punishments, they are opportunities to discover your inner strength, your patience, and your resilience. Every challenge is a mirror reflecting how much you are capable of handling.
Embracing challenges begins with a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Every difficult moment carries wisdom.
A failed exam teaches preparation and persistence. A lost opportunity teaches patience and resilience. A lost opportunity teaches patience and resilience. A misunderstanding with a friend teaches empathy and communication. Challenges are never wasted. They are the soil in which your growth takes root. Consider an athlete training for a competition. Every early morning, every exhausted session, every minor injury is a challenge. It feels difficult, even unfair at times. But each challenge strengthens the muscles, sharpens the mind, and builds endurance. The victory on the day of the competition is not the beginning. It is the culmination of embracing challenges every step of the way. Similarly, in life, the victories you celebrate tomorrow are born from the challenges you face today. Even small daily challenges can be transformed into stepping stones. Waking up early, completing tasks you don't feel like doing, facing conversations you have been avoiding, or overcoming personal habits that hold you back. These are challenges too. Every time you choose to face them instead of avoiding them, you grow stronger. You build the mental, emotional, and spiritual muscles that will prepare you for the bigger challenges ahead. Life is not about avoiding discomfort, it is about growing through it. Challenges also teach patience and faith. Often, the moment we resist the hardest is the moment the greatest lesson or opportunity is unfolding. Think about a period of waiting, a job interview, a promotion, a breakthrough you've been praying for. The uncertainty feels heavy, but these periods are tests of faith and character. How you respond determines your readiness to receive what you seek. Challenges are often the preparation rooms for the blessings and success that follow. Consider the story of someone learning a new skill, like painting or coding. At first, mistakes are frequent. Progress feels slow. Frustration rises. Yet, each mistake is a lesson. Each failed attempt a teacher. When patience meets persistence, mastery is born. Life is no different. Every challenge you face is part of your learning curve. When you embrace them instead of resisting them, you transform obstacles into opportunities for growth. Challenges also reveal the strength of your spirit. It is easy to be confident when life is smooth. True strength is revealed when storms hit. Facing adversity, standing tall despite uncertainty, and continuing to act with courage and purpose builds a resilience that cannot be taught in any classroom or read in any book. Each challenge becomes a badge of honor, a reminder that you are capable of more than you thought possible. One of the most powerful ways to embrace challenges is to view them as gifts from God. They are opportunities to strengthen faith, to discover your potential, and to align more closely with your purpose. When life tests you, remember that the test is not meant to defeat you. It is meant to define you, refine you, and lift you higher. Every challenge faced with courage, patience, and faith becomes a stepping stone toward the life you are meant to live. So, the next time life places an obstacle in your path, do not resist, do not complain, and do not despair. Step onto that challenge, learn from it, grow from it, let it teach you, refine you. Today let us dive into this truth. Challenges are not the end of the road. They are the stepping stones across it. The more you embrace them, the faster you move forward, the more you trust in their purpose, the stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable you become. Life rewards those who see obstacles not as walls, but as stairs.
Your challenges are your ladder. Step boldly, climb confidently, and keep moving toward the victory that awaits you.
Life has a way of throwing curveballs at us. Situations arise that we cannot predict, people act in ways we cannot control, and circumstances often seem to spiral beyond our grasp. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or helpless when everything around us seems chaotic. But here is a universal truth. Peace, progress, and success come not from controlling the uncontrollable, but from focusing on what lies within your power. The choices you make, the actions you take, and the mindset you cultivate, these are yours to command. Everything else is outside your control, and worrying about it only drains your energy and clouds your judgment. Think about a student preparing for an important exam. Think about a student preparing for an important exam. Think about a student preparing for an important exam. The anxiety of thinking about the questions that might come, the difficulty of the test, or the performance of others is overwhelming if you try to control it. But what the student can control is the effort they put into studying, the hours they dedicate to learning, the strategies they use to prepare, and the mindset they maintain. By focusing on preparation instead of fear, the student maximizes their potential and increases the chance of success. The same principle applies to life. Focus your energy on what you can influence and let go of what you cannot. In daily life, focusing on what you can control means taking responsibility for your thoughts, words, and actions. You cannot control how others behave, what they say about you, or the opportunities life throws your way. But you can control your response. You can choose patience over anger, kindness over bitterness, persistence over giving up, and hope over despair. Each small, deliberate choice strengthens your character and moves you closer to your goals, even when external circumstances are unpredictable. Consider someone facing criticism at work. It's natural to feel hurt or frustrated, but trying to control the opinions of others is a losing battle. Instead, focus on improving your skills, maintaining your professionalism, and responding with grace. Over time, consistent effort and integrity speak louder than temporary judgments. Focusing on what you can control transforms adversity into opportunity. It turns challenges into growth and setbacks into lessons. Focusing on what you can control also applies to relationships. You cannot force someone to change, understand, or agree with you. You cannot control their actions or words, but you can control how you communicate, how you set boundaries, and how you nurture connections. By investing energy in improving your own behavior and mindset, you create healthier, more meaningful relationships. You cannot control others, but you can control the way you show up in their lives, and that is incredibly powerful. Even in moments of uncertainty, focusing on what you can control builds resilience.
Imagine facing a sudden change, like losing a job, experiencing a health issue, or dealing with a personal loss. These situations are largely outside your control.
What you can control is your response, how you process the situation, how you take care of yourself, and how you take small steps toward rebuilding. Focusing on actionable steps rather than ruminating on what cannot be changed transforms fear into empowerment and despair into hope. Daily routines offer countless opportunities to practice this principle. Play, how you spend your morning, the attitude you bring to your work, the patience you show in traffic, the kindness you extend to people around you. These are all within your control. Most people waste energy worrying about factors outside their influence, such as what others think, what might happen in the future, or what they cannot change from the past. By redirecting focus to what is actionable, you reclaim your power, reduce stress, and create consistent progress in life. Even the most successful people understand this truth intuitively. They do not waste energy blaming others, lamenting circumstances, or dwelling on injustice. Instead, they focus on their actions, their decisions, and their preparation. By controlling what they can, their habits, their attitude, their work ethic, they create outcomes that others might see as luck or timing, but in reality are the result of consistent focus and deliberate effort. Focusing on what you can control is also deeply tied to faith. It means trusting that God or a higher power is guiding the larger picture while you dedicate yourself to the areas you can influence. You cannot control every outcome, but you can align your actions with purpose, integrity, and diligence. You can show up each day ready to do your best, confident that the results will follow in the right time. This trust reduces anxiety, increases clarity, and strengthens the courage to act consistently. Ultimately, the power of focusing on what you can control is liberating. It allows you to stop wasting energy on things that cannot be changed, to stop feeling like a victim of circumstance, and to reclaim your sense of purpose and agency. Each action you take, each decision you make, each thought you choose to cultivate builds momentum toward your goals. Life is not about controlling every wave in the ocean. It is about learning to surf, to navigate, and to ride the current with skill and confidence. So today, stop trying to fix the uncontrollable, stop fearing the unpredictable, and stop blaming external circumstances for your struggles. Instead, look inward. Focus on your actions, your choices, your mindset, and your effort. Control what is yours, trust what is not, and step forward with confidence that by mastering yourself, you are creating the life you were meant to live. When you focus on what you can control, you discover a strength, clarity, and peace that cannot be shaken. That is where true power lies.